why is Africa so important in the global climate conversation? And so I'm going to have some fun today. Have a little fun with numbers because I am a behavioral economist, so I like the interplay of stories and numbers, and I'm going to get you guys all involved. So who knows today how many people, how many human beings are on the planet Earth? You can just call it out. Go for it. All right, Assad's on my team. He's cheating already. He knows these answers. It's all right. Assad's are right. 8.7 billion people live on Earth. Of those 8.7 billion people, how many live in Africa today? You don't want to take a guess. This is the interactive part. Go for it. What was it? 1.5. You're perfect. So today, almost 1 out of every 2 people in the world lives in Africa. So about 18% of global population. We're still growing. So the world is still growing. So there's 8.2 billion people in the world today. In 75 years from now, there'll be about 10.2 billion people in the world. With those 10.2 billion people in the world, about what percentage will be living on the African continent by the year 2100? Saw a hand. Go for it. 25. Keep going. Back there. Nice work. All right, cool. So here's a fun fact. The world is growing, and Africa is about to skyrocket in population. Africa is about to double in population as our species continues to grow. So the growth in the world is going to come from Africa in terms of population. A little bit of Asia, but a lot of Africa. Okay, here's another fun one. How many terawatts of energy are used in the world today? All right, I won't do that one. 225,000 terawatts of energy are used in the world today. What percentage of those terawatts are used on the African continent? Who's got a guess? Go for it. You can't lose. I'm looking at you. Go for it. Perfect. We have some people, 5, 3, we're close. It's good. So only 3% of global energy use today is used in Africa. We're about to grow. We're about to consume. By the year 2100, about what percent of global energy will be used in Africa? Another guess? Anybody? You got to play along. Come on. I'm just going to start calling on people. I was a professor for a little while as well. So how about, you're in the front row and you looked at me. What percent? 20. Very close. 12%. Right? So we're about to double in population. We're about to 4x in energy use. These are big things that are happening in the world. So if we talk about the global race to net zero, the global north, the population is declining and their energy use is also stabilizing. Here comes the global south. Here comes the global south. So what does that mean? And if you could take something with you today, and we'll keep talking through this, the growth in the world over the next 75 years is going to come from Africa. A little bit of Asia, but a lot of Africa. We're about to consume. We're about to consume energy. We're about to consume meat. We're about to consume a lot of things that we haven't consumed in the past. What do we know from the overall product market fit of the human species over the last 75 years? We've been able to go from 2.5 billion people to 8 billion in 75 years. How crazy is that? We did it primarily through harnessing energy, but we know when you grow and when you consume, you create carbon in the traditional model. So growth plus consumption in the traditional model doesn't work for climate. So this is what I want to hit you all with today. The South is going to grow. There's no stopping that. The South is going to consume. There's no stopping that as well. But we can't grow and consume the same way the global North did. It just literally does not work. So let's keep talking about that. Let's find some ways to have some fun with that. And that's why we started Holocene. We talk about Holocene as building inspiring climate solutions for our incredible epoch. We live in the Holocene epoch, which allows our species to proliferate. So love working with the team here today and working with venture capitalists, entrepreneurs, to help invest in and help build the next wave of climate startups that are going to solve this problem. But I don't want to just tell you the problem. Any good entrepreneur wants to look for the opportunities as well, right? So with respect, let me come back to this. So as I get into the next idea of how do we build together, I do want to say you're in a room today of early adopters. Has anyone ever read Jeffrey Moore's Crossing the Chasm? Yeah, it's a great book. This is what we call tech adoption. So any new thing in the world, it has to get the innovators. It has to get the innovators to come and help build that thing. So I asked that question to start today because there's a lot of people in the room today who are coming over to climate. So congratulations, you all are the innovators. The people in the room today, you're this piece. Welcome. Welcome to being part of that. And I want to go back and say, quickly, welcome yourself to everybody around you today. So stop for 2 minutes and say hello to the person to your left. Say hello to the person to your right. Tell them why you're working on climate, because you all are going to build together. So I'm stopping. Say hello. All right, let me bring you on back, because if I do this for too long, especially around climate, I lose everybody. I lose everyone, because everyone in the room today. All right, come on back, come on back. I got like 2 more minutes. I won't take much more of your time. I've done this a couple times before, and it is hard to stop. But I will. Because everyone in the room today is part of this early stage innovator. So when you're talking to people and you're asking people about their climate journey, there's a lot of interesting stories, right? There's a lot of passion. There's a lot of resilience in building, because this stuff is hard. So you all are these people today. So let's go build together. And then part of this discussion is let's find these people. Let's find the early adopters as well, because we need them to come across. We need them to help build as well. But what I want to do today is also give you some fun facts, some opportunities to build, right? Africa is unique. So why is Africa unique? In the context of designing, inspiring climate solutions for Africa, and Africa's unique, what I like to call design parameters, what might 25% represent? We're going back to Q&A now. So what might 25% represent within innovation opportunities and Africa's unique circumstances? No wrong answers. All right, whoever makes eye contact next, this gentleman right here in the blue blazer. What do you think 25% represents? You want to give it a go? Yeah, go for it. What is it? Agricultural opportunity. Okay, close. So 25% of all global plant and animal biodiversity is on the African continent. Did you know, where I live down in South Africa, Table Mountain has more biodiversity than the entire Alps? Isn't that crazy? Africa's a wild place. So let's go build with that. Let's unlock that biodiversity. So we work with a startup called Wild Bio. So 99% of biotech funding does not go to Africa. Africa has unique data that can unlock opportunities around the world. Almost everything we use is built on animal proteins. We do not have the data set for African wild animal proteins. Let's go find that data. Let's go build better. All right, one more, or 2 more actually. 50%. Unique African innovation opportunities and characteristics of our continent. What does 50% represent? Saw you in the back. You're new to climate with the glasses. What do you think 50% represents? Population. The youth population, that's a good one. Yeah, you're right. I mean, very fast-growing continent. I think 19 is the average age. In this case, global renewable potential. So Namibia has the most opportunity for solar radiation in the world. So we have 50% of renewable capacities in Africa. It needs to be unlocked. So again, I live in South Africa where we're rebuilding our grid. We have the 18th largest grid in the world. It's the same size as Australia, but it's 90% fossil fuels. It's breaking. Southern Africa will be the first liberalization of energy in the world that's led with renewables. That's a cool idea. It's the cheapest electron. So a company like Asoba is helping to optimize those electrons within the grid. How do distributed renewable energy resources make their way into a grid and get optimized? That's an innovation opportunity. And then one more, 70%. You were looking this way. Go for it. What does 70% represent? Arable land is like 60%. It's a lot though, right? I like this one a lot. So 70% our buildings aren't built yet. So Africa is about to grow, and it's about to urbanize. So if you want to work on climate in Amsterdam, you're retrofitting. You're doing energy efficiency. You have to fix things that have already been built to be non-sustainable. What if Africa is built to be sustainable from day one? So companies like Cubic, which are building cements that can be carbon sinks. What if our cities are built better? What if our cities are built to be interconnected? What if our cities are renewable from day one? That's the opportunity. So I bring all this stuff up today primarily because I want to show that this thing is happening. Africa is about to grow. It's about to consume. It's about to become a massive part of the global climate conversation because we have to grow differently. We have to grow better. But there's massive innovation opportunities that can be unlocked in this room today. So that's why Christoph brings this crew together, and that's why he does it all around the continent. So innovators like yourself can come together, think, plan, strategize, and go build better. A couple ways to do it. One is to join a climate community. You are in one today. So whether it's with AfricArena, groups like Holocene, Delta 40, and others, Catalyst, go join that community. Secondly, share your expertise. If you do want to become an investor, please share your capital as well. And then most importantly, let's bring this new narrative out to the world, right? So we need a more interesting narrative because the rest of the world is not realizing why African climate really matters so much. This is what I'll leave you with, because we're all innovators. So let's see if we can grow the South in a way populations can grow, people can consume, and we develop an entire new model to be able to do that in balance with our planet. That's what Climate Tech's all about. So thank you for all the opportunity to speak today. If you have any questions, if you want to get involved in a community, if you want to learn more, if you want to geek out, this stuff is really fun. It's very, very technical, it's very interesting. We'd love to do it along with you. So thanks for the time, and have a great time today, and work with your innovators to go build something awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. That was, from an economist, that was a very good presentation.